So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all people watching this video. My name is Mathieu Legris. I'm the VP product of SciSec, and I will show you today a video showing the transparency for the business activity deployed on ARCA trusted OS running in a confidential VM. So the goal of this video first is to show the different layers that are configured when you run what I call an ARCA cluster. So it's a cluster of Kubernetes nodes running with a guest OS that is ARCA trusted OS. And so we will see the different layers from, let's say, the Google interface, because in this case, I will show a demo of ARCA running in Google Cloud. So Google interface, then the OS interface, so ARCA trusted OS, and then at the end, we will reach the application level. So the goal is really to show that running in a confidential VM, so running on AMD SEV, so this feature allowing confidential computing, this means protection of the data in use, does not require any modification. So we took just one basic application, which is just a chat, Rocket Chat, and okay, we just deploy Rocket Chat on this ARCA cluster working within confidential VMs, and it runs as it should without any modifications. And the last goal of this video is also to show you, let's say, that managing a Kubernetes cluster running on ARCA is similar, identical to the management of any other kind of Kubernetes cluster running on Linux, of course. So what is shown in this video? So there are three parts in this video. The first one, we are, let's say, at the Google interface level. So we log in through this Google GCP interface, and then we will just check the settings of the created instance. So the goal is not to show you how to create the instance. There is another video for this. It's really just to show you all the settings that have been done and to check that, at least based on Google interface, we are running in a confidential VM. The second part, we are at the ARCA trusted OS layer, at the operating system layer. So I will show you that ARCA trusted OS, you're running a standard Linux operating system with the, let's say, Linux environment. And I will also show you that there is a Kubernetes cluster that is under execution on the top of ARCA trusted OS. And then the last part will be at the application layer. And I will just show you that the application works properly while it is installed, let's say, in confidential VMs running on AMD SEV. So in the video, we might have, let's say, cut some pieces because it's just wasting time to show this. We are not here to show you data that is loading, for example, okay? So now let's move to the video. So before starting, as you can see, we are working with Google Cloud. So I will start with this interface that is called Google Cloud Platform. And as I mentioned, I will show you all the settings of the created instance. So we go to the VM instance we have generated. Okay, ARCA OS, that's the one we want to check. So in terms of settings, first we check that we have confidential VM service that is enabled. Okay, we check that we turn on the secure boot, we turn on the VTPM, and also integrity monitoring, all the security features. Now we will copy the IP address of this VM, and with this we will log in ARCA Trusted OS. So we see the sign showing that this S, which is the symbol from SciSec, and showing that we are now logged in on ARCA Trusted OS device. Here we see all the applications that are running. So we can see that a Kubernetes cluster is running presently. For people that are used to it, I mean, we see Longhorn, for example, running, Mitel LB, etc., etc. Okay, so now we want to check if we are running in a confidential VM. So for this, there is no remote attestation that exists for the moment with Google. The best we can do is just to check that SCV feature is active. And as you see, AMD memory encryption feature is active based on, let's say, the feedback we get from Google. So this means that our Kubernetes cluster is now running on a confidential VM. So now we want to check. So Rocket Chat, that's the application, that's the chat application we want to demonstrate. So we have deployed this chat application on the Kubernetes cluster running on ARCA Trusted OS. So now we need to log on this application through the typical way we do to join application in a Kubernetes cluster. So we will use the ingress controller. Okay, so we need to find the address. It's underlined, this IP address. So that's the public address that is shown presently on the screen of this ingress controller. And we will reach the application through the internet. Okay, so we need, this public address. This is the one that we will use. And then we open a browser. Okay, we just enter the address. And now we are logged in the secure, the Rocket Chat, sorry. So now we can type, as you see, messages in this application without any modification for the application. So this application is running in a confidential VM. This provides protection of the data in use while this application is running on Google Cloud Platform with ARCA Trusted OS and with no need for modification of the application. Of course, this works also for any kind of application that run in a containerized format. Okay, so that's the end of the video. I would like to thank you to listening to watching at this video. I hope you understand better now how run ARCA Trusted OS cluster. What are the kind of interface you need to play with if you want to use our operating system. And I hope also that you understand now that or you realize that you don't need to make any code modification in your application if you want to benefit from confidential VMs that are provided by public cloud providers. Thank you very much. If you want more information, don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you. Bye-bye.